All right, this video I'm going to show you real quick how to get started on programming. First, make sure you go to RobotC and make sure you pick the correct one. Yours is on your desktop. Mine is hidden, so go ahead and open that up. Kind of slow. All right, before you do anything, click Robot. Make sure your platform type is Vex 2.0 Cortex. Go to Vex Robotics. Make sure it's Vex 2.0 Cortex there as well. Should be if it is above. And then always make sure Natural Language Project Lead the Way is selected. Looks like we're good to go here. That is something you might want to check from time to time. Also check Vex Cortex communication mode. Should be VexNet or USB, or you can just set it to USB. And what we're going to do is open the program that I would like you to run. So go to Open and Compile. And you will be taken somewhere into Files, and you'll have to kind of search around. What you want to do is go to this PC, double-click that. That'll open up your stuff over here. And this is your drive. Your drive is the 32 drive, which I don't have one. You guys do. And you don't have all these other drives that I have. But this is where you want to save your stuff. But first, we have to go get it. And I have it on the G drive. So double-click G drive. Go to RobotC Programs. And you're going to open up Program 01. Open. All right. Now I just want to make sure my platform type is still correct. It looks like it is. Good. And all right, so we're good to go. Remember, the green is pseudocode. It is directions. It does not do anything for the robot. I do want you to type in your name and date and your bell. Read the task description. It says run a program that will turn the right motor on for 5 seconds and then stop. So very simple, easy program, which is what we're starting out with. You will see the pseudocode. The pseudocode is a step-by-step what you're going to do. These are specific directions that I want you to paste down into the task main curly brackets. Anything that you type in here will be a command for the robot. But pseudocode that is green will not be a command for the robot. It's directions to help you. So I'm going to highlight that, right-click, copy, and I'm going to paste it here. Now notice when I paste, it's no longer green. So it thinks that this is code for the robot, and this code will not work because it's not written the way it should be. So we need to make this green again. I'm going to put 2 backslashes in front. Notice it's turning green. So the robot will ignore this. If I didn't do that, the robot's going to get confused and it's going to be an error message. So this is your pseudocode. You don't really need to space that, but I'm going to do that anyway because it looks nice. What I want you guys to do when you write your code, I want you to write your code right underneath the pseudocode. So I'm going to hit enter. And this is where I'm going to write the actual code for start right motor. Okay. Now, before we can even start writing our code, we have to set up our motors. And now you saw this in lesson 4. You're going to go to motors setup and sensor setup. Okay. You want to make sure that you're on the correct tab. This is digital sensors. We're not doing digital sensors right now. So I'm going to go back here to motors. And in the video, you saw that we called it, I think, right motor. I like to use a capital M in the middle of my words whenever I go from one word to the next, which is a good programming habit to do. Don't capitalize the front of the word ever, but you can do the center of the word. And I like that because it just helps me see right motor. It stands out better. The motors we use in here are 393 motors, so you need to select that. Reverse, you don't need to do that. If it's going backwards later, that's something you can do. Okay. And then these here, we're going to go ahead and just leave these the way they are. Okay. You can't say what side it's on. We'll say it's on the right. Okay. We don't want to do digital. You don't want, just do none. Okay. All right. And then you're going to go ahead and set up your other motor. Now, your other motor needs to go in port 10. You could put the other motors in the other ports on the Cortex. Remember, these correspond with the ports on the actual Cortex brain. If you look at the Cortex brain, you'll see that port 1 and port 10 look a little different. That's because they fit our motors as is. To use these other ports, like port 2 through port 9, you have to have a special cable connected. All right. And I'm going to say this is the left. Now watch when I do OK here. Notice the pragma statements. These statements here tell the robot that we have a motor in port 1, and it is called right motor. That's what you're going to be calling it down here. So when you write your code, like start right motor, okay, that code's going to come up here. It's going to say we need to send that signal to port 1 on the brain. Okay, and that's how that works. Now, you can type out the code, but there's an easier way. You can click on your text functions. You always choose natural language. Movement would be your motors. You can see here I've got start motor. So you can look at this and it tells you how to write it, or you can actually drag and drop it, which is very nice. And then there's only a little bit that we need to do. We need to say what motor port it's in and what speed we want. Okay, so this should get you started, and I'll give you more details on speed and those type of things so you know what to do. And watch the next video if you need help any further.